So I screwed up a bit. Initial recording of this video didn't go well at all because I didn't record any of the sound, so I've had to take it from the stream that I was doing at the same time. You might see the chat, various bits like that. Sorry. I do hope that this video is all okay, but hope you enjoy. Leeds United are going into the match this weekend against Southampton quite badly needing something to go right. A win would be perfect and get us promoted, a loss would be quite sad. And Daniel Farke has had his press conference talking about the entire thing, in which we had some major team news that led to the quote, "We have to find some other solutions." Bit of a spooky quote, and I will dive into why he said that and ultimately what it means for the weekend ahead as we go into it. But if you're not yet, subscribe, comment, that'd be massively appreciated. Ta. So, Leeds United's predicted lineup I'm going to dive into towards the end, but first we need to talk about the team news for Leeds United, and the big issue that we are going to have to fend with is there is no Patrick Bamford. Pat Bamford got injured a couple of weeks ago, and everyone was sort of hopeful that he would eventually make his way back into the team. That hasn't been the case here. He is unavailable due to some ongoing injuries, and in my opinion this is genuinely a big shame. He's good to have as an option. Without a doubt for me, if you have Patrick Bamford as an option available to you, you can quite easily go, okay, we can bring him on, he can stretch defences, or we can bring someone else on off the bench because they've got a little bit more energy than he does, and not having him is a problem. But, thankfully, everyone else is available. That's colossal. That is huge for Leeds United, and it means that we are in a very good position going into this match. Daniel Farke also had his say on Southampton themselves, and he was very complimentary. He said that Southampton are one of the best sides in the league, and he noted their severe levels of experience, which is huge. Their side has a lot of players that have played a lot of football, and that means that they are sort of used to situations like this. They might not have played at Wembley, or they might not have specifically had a playoff final, but they've been in these big match situations and are potentially well suited to deal with them. I'm not saying they're better suited than our players because that's not necessarily true, but they're in a position where they have lots of experience behind them and can position themselves adequately as a result. He also remarked on Russell Martin and how he consistently thought he was going to turn into a coach when he was at Norwich, and here we are. Both coaches, both against each other in the Championship playoff final. So, onto that, we need to talk a little bit more about how Daniel Farke talked about his squad, and there are a few quite important things here. He mentioned how the Norwich victory was a huge confidence boost for the squad, which was absolutely essential. At the end of the season, we'd been stumbling, we'd been basically... You know those videos of someone who starts tripping up and starts slowly falling over and eventually they will just hit the ground? That's what it felt like at Leeds for a while at the end of the season. Getting battered against QPR, losing to Southampton on the last day, but beating Norwich was a big confidence boost going into this, and I think that could be absolutely colossal for us. We really need to carry that into this match. When Leeds are confident, and when you've got the likes of Rutter and Somerville on their normal, swashbuckling, natural selves where they're doing what feels right, they're unplayable. There's very, very few teams in the league, perhaps even in the country, that will be able to stop them, but the issue is with consistency. Will we have them consistent? We'll find out on Sunday, if they are feeling confident. He also said there's a little bit more prep to do. The training and the getting ready for the match isn't completed yet. That's going to be a question of coming up in the next few days, weeks, not weeks, hours, days, sorry, in which we could sort of do with getting players a little bit fit, a little bit healthy, as good as they can be, as well as dealing with some specific against-the-ball details. This means knowing their structure in defence, knowing who they're going to be pressing in defence, and importantly he said that whilst he's given all these instructions, whilst he knows the structure the team need to play in, and whilst he knows what the team really want to be doing, he also noted that it's a player's game, it isn't just chess between the coaches. Because that's true. You can send a team out with all the detailed instructions in the world. You can have Pep Guardiola taking on a side and giving them all the instructions he could possibly need to give them for them to be in the best position to win a match. But if you're doing that and the players don't follow your instructions, that's where you've got problems. So, with all that in mind, what is the predicted lineup for this match? In goal, I'm going with the obvious choice. This isn't a question in the slightest. I've gone with Illan Meslier because his save in the playoff semi-final second leg just sort of proved to me that when we are desperately scrambling and need someone to stop those big shots, he's there. If Meslier doesn't save that in the semi-final, I feel like it's a lot tougher to get to where we are right now. We might have still won the game. I'm not saying the entire thing hinged on that, but if we would have struggled, that's where you get issues. That's where 2-1 down, people start to panic. In front of him, someone that is a key part of Leeds United culture right now, I've gone with Archie Gray at right back, with Ethan Ampadu and Joe Rodon next to him. This is a very solid 3, with Junior Firpo playing out on the left. This should give the centre-backs an opportunity to sit in and just remain in a nice, tough structure, whilst the wing-backs have the opportunity to bomb on down both sides and cause the Southampton side a lot of problems, especially if they play in a 5-3-2. If you've got wing-backs who keep their full-backs pressed in, fantastic, you're in the best possible position when you're against that formation. Now, midfield. I've already played Archie Gray at right back, so you know what's going to happen here. It's got to be Gruev, it's got to be Kamara, and I expect some big things from these players in this match. Out on the flanks, I've gone unchanged. I've gone Crescencio Somerville on the left wing. We know how good he can be when he cuts in and fires off those shots. I've gone Jorginho Rutter in the middle, but he's not really in the middle. He's doing that Georgie thing of just wandering and seeing what he can do and finding his way all across the pitch. And we've got Willy Gnonto on the right, who proved in the match against Norwich in the second leg. I was on the fence about picking him because I thought he's been booked in the first leg. We don't want him to miss the final or anything. He's already proven that he can create fantastic chances in these tough matches. He's already proven that he's a very fun player when he gets into it, and third of all, he's proven that he can get into Ryan Manning's head. I'll get into that in a little bit more detail in my full Southampton preview, but up top we are going to go with Joel Piroe. Similar to Gnonto here, I was on the fence about picking him ahead of this match, but the fact that he did really well in that second leg against Norwich, spectacular, fantastic. It's going to be really good to see him properly in the side, and I'm sort of looking forward to it. I genuinely think that he can potentially cause some problems for Southampton. He did when we were pressing them really high and hard in the last match of the season, but the issue is that press dropped off a little bit towards the end. If Farke can get him G'd up, and if Farke can get up and active, and if the crowd get behind the side, I can see Piroe having an absolute barnstormer of a game. But ultimately, I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I'm aiming for 3,500 subscribers before the playoff final, and I'm very, very nearly there, so it'd be quite nice to make it across the line. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you later. I forgot to mention, I'm live streaming whilst I'm recording this. If you see me live, come and join me. See you later.